Here at Davis AutoSports, we are very excited to offer you this absolutely gorgeous, pristine, one owner, Carfax certified, guaranteed buyback, 1999 Chevrolet Suburban 1500. This vehicle has 90,000 original and very well documented miles. Absolutely perfect title. Here at Davis AutoSports, we really love this body style Tahoe and Suburban. We try to get as many in as possible, but they are getting extremely hard to come across, especially in this condition, these miles. This is probably the nicest one on the entire market with all things considered. True one owner vehicle, only 90,000 miles with that 5.7 in powertrain. I'm not going to say just broken in, but I'm sure if you're looking at this, you know how long these vehicles last. Here at Davis AutoSports, we're a pretty unique dealership and performance shop. What we do is we seek out the cleanest, nicest vehicles we can possibly find and then bring them into our 30,000 square foot facility. And we got 8 guys back here between mechanics, reconditioning guys, body guys, custom interior. There's our room right there where we do interior. We do a wide variety of vehicles here, but when we get vehicles like this in that are very hard to come across, we try to do as much as we can possibly do to make these vehicles that much nicer. So what I'm going to do first is just do a quick walk around and kind of show you the condition of it. Then I'm going to go into great detail exactly what we did to the vehicle. So I'll do some close-ups so you can see the vehicle. And like I said, from there I'll just go over some really good detail information. As you look down the body panels, I mean, just absolutely straight as can be. This paint has a beautiful shine. I'll get to more of that in detail here in a moment. I mean, the body on this truck is, I mean, it truly looks like a 30,000 mile vehicle that's maybe 2 or 3 years old. It is that nice. Take a look down the passenger side. I mean, just absolutely straight as can be. Rocker panels are perfect. Side steps are in great condition. I mean, this paint on this truck is just perfect. So now you have a general idea of the exterior condition. I'm going to go ahead and get into detail exactly what we did. I'm going to go over the conditioning part. As soon as this vehicle came into inventory, of course, we put it up on the lift and go over the entire truck service-wise. And we did do a number of things. We got brand new rotors, brand new brake pads, bled out the system. There's some other items that we did that will be in the listing, but this video is going to pretty much go over all the reconditioning stuff that we did. The paint, which is original paint, but it came in great condition. This vehicle has received our full paint correction service. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what that is, we have it on our website. We're in the beginning stages of doing it to a vehicle right now. We do it to 90% of the vehicles that we sell, and I'll kind of show you what it is for you guys that don't know. It's a very tedious process. This vehicle's only about 30 minutes in. So here is the normal paint on this vehicle, and here's where we started. There's different grits of sandpaper that are used. Here's a 3000 grit piece of sandpaper. And all these spots that you see right here, that's either going to be like a 1500 or a 2000, and that sands away the scratches. The roof has started to get it, but mostly the trunk lid. So what happens, and you know, we go over the dark scratches with a 1000 or 1500 or 2000 grit sandpaper, and from there the entire vehicle, whether it has scratches or not, gets a 3000K wet sand. And from there, it's a very tedious process. The whole vehicle, and I'll make our way back over to the Suburban. After the entire vehicle gets sanded down, and it's a very tedious process, and you have to know what you're doing, because you can sand away too much of it, and you sand away base coat and everything else. And let me just back up and tell you the reason why this is done. 95% of the defects and imperfections on a vehicle, when you look at it, it's not in the base coat, it's not in the blue paint on this particular vehicle, it's on the protective layer of clear coat. So all the swirl marks, all the fine lines and scratches, it's not actually typically in the paint unless it's all the way through, but it's in the clear coat. So essentially what you're doing is sanding an entire layer of clear coat off of the vehicle. But of course, when you sand it, you're then left with what you saw on the Subaru, a very hazy finish from it being sanded. So the whole vehicle gets compounded with a gritty compound with a special pad, and that's the first stage. And we're talking pillars in between the doors. There's different buffers used for different sections of the vehicle. If you're buffing a door here, you can't use the same 12-inch pad on a pillar right there. So it's very, very tedious. So the whole vehicle gets done with a compound, the special pad. From there it gets done with a stage 2 polish, and the pad corresponding with that, then a stage 3 polish, and then a wax and seal. So a vehicle this size, my main recondition guy, he's probably got about 4 days wrapped in it, but the end result is what looks like new paint. And a lot of people comment and say, hey, do you guys paint your vehicles? While we do paint here, they comment that on vehicles that haven't been painted. So essentially what you're left with is just beautiful, beautiful paint throughout. Now, it doesn't do anything to dents or dings, which this vehicle doesn't have any, but it just completely takes away all the imperfections on the clear coat, and it brings back a like new shine. So that's the first major reconditioning thing that we did to this vehicle. I doubt you'll see a 1999 vehicle with original paint look this good. The second thing we did is we wanted to facelift the front. All these, the headlights, driving lamps, side markers, they're all brand new. We have the old ones that show you that, you know, it wasn't an accident or anything like that. They just, over the years, they get oxidized and hazed up. So we could have compounded them and buffed those out too, but there's nothing like new headlights. So we got brand new lights in there as well. Your side mirrors on these are brand new power side mirrors on each side. We put these on brand new because the old ones over the years, the sun bakes it, bugs hit it, rocks hit it. We have those in the back of the vehicle to show you that they were only replaced to increase the appearance of the vehicle. Of course, we have the passenger side as well. These are brand new. And these are power. Another thing we did, brand new BFG all-terrain KO2 tires. These are the new KO2s that just recently came out. And what we did is we went with a 265 75 16 compared to the stock 245, slightly bigger. Just gives it a nice look. Obviously it's not a big tire whatsoever, just a little bit bigger over the factory tire. Another thing, if you know these vehicles very well, and since we deal with a lot of them, we replace them all the time, these handles, typically when you pull, it puts a lot of stress right here, and those always crack. So we replaced the handles as well. Inside, this vehicle was in such good condition that there wasn't a whole lot that needed to get done. Just clean the carpets up a little bit, typical, you know, interior detail. This vehicle does have a pretty rare rear entertainment system, but the interior, there's a ton of pictures on the listing for you guys to see, is in phenomenal condition. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the back hatch just to show you a couple of these parts that I was referring to earlier. This does have the third row in it as well. It's not missing. So here are all your old parts, your old mirrors. Like I said, nothing wrong with them, just very dull and a little tiny scratch, but if you put it next to the new one, you can see why we would have changed it. Just little things like that just make a huge difference on how new or old a vehicle looks. We really enjoy getting these trucks in. We really appreciate them, so we kind of just want to bring them back to life, if you will. There are your headlights. Nothing wrong with them, but as you see,